Welcome back to the Disaster Podcast. It's another one where nothing was fucking working before before we hit record. I've had to do I can tell you exactly how long it took me to fix it all. It was 15 minutes because I just put an oven pizza in before I started fixing stuff, and I went downstairs to get it, and I've got it. And I could smell burning.
Yes.
I opened the oven and went, wow, that's weirdly perfectly cooked.
I know. The best pizzas are the ones that are just a little bit burnt anyway.
Yeah, it's strange that the technical issues I was having, to fix them added up to the perfect amount to cook the oven pizza that I'd got.
I know. So next time that you're screaming and hollering, just think, maybe this is God's way of providing me the perfect pizza.
Maybe. It was God's method of having a timer, because I'd forgotten to set a timer.
Yeah, so... Exactly.
Well, coming up in today's podcast, prom. You been to one of those? Maybe. An arena and an event and London and fucking all sorts of shit went down. It was sinful is what it was. And yeah, I had a great time in London, and I dropped my sister off at the prom, and that's what I will be telling you about. But first, Judd, hit us with the news.
The news? I don't know, what is the news? What is it?
Just what have you been doing? I don't care.
What have I been doing? The only thing of note that I've really been doing is I went to another tournament the other day, and I'm not even gonna make this like a 10-minute segment. I have recently quite fallen out of love with playing Warhammer. Warhammer 40k. I've not fallen out of love with Warhammer. I still love Warhammer, but do you remember a bit ago how I was telling you that the 10th edition of Warhammer was coming out, like it was getting a sort of rules update?
It was quite a big one, right?
Yeah, it was quite a big one. It's happened, and like everybody seems really happy with it. To a point where, like, I feel like I'm going fucking crazy because I really don't like. I hate it. I'll not go into too much details as to why I don't like it, but I just personally feel, and again, also like if anybody's listened to it who plays it and they enjoy it, it's fine if you enjoy it. That's whatever. But I just personally feel like there's not as much to it as there was in previous editions. And the biggest thing for me for Warhammer, the reason why I loved Warhammer so much, is how in-depth you could go with making your armies. So, like, you know how there's Space Marines? It was never just Space Marines, like you just play Space Marines. It was like there's all these different chapters, and then you can kit them out so many different ways, and then you can even potentially make your own. There was rules to make your own.
It's really complicated though, but famously so. Like, people know this shit. Yeah, it's complicated
But now, sorry, I know how ridiculous my headset looks. I've broken one of the sides. It's just dangling off side of my head. Now, and I know that it is just the very beginning of 10th. So, usually army rules come in the form of things called codexes. Right now, they're just indexes, which are just supposed to be like, here's how, at the beginning of 10th, you can quickly get your army out on the table while we're still fine-tuning it. They're just, like, barren. They're just, like, there's no sort of, like, fun rules in there to, like, make your own stuff. It's like now, instead of going against Space Marines, and it's like, I could be against, I could be against fucking Black Templars or Blood Angels or Blood Raven, or like, all these different types of Space Marines, or it could be, whatever the fuck that somebody has made up. Now it is just Space Marines. You are playing against Space Marines, and it's the same with all.
Discount a lot of lore though. That'd be the thing that I'm thinking. Like...
Well, no, because it's all still there in the lore. Like, technically, if you So it doesn't work with certain chapters because some of them
are you
actually
saying
do
then
get their own rules.
that
But
the mechanics of every Space Marine basically works the same, but the lore of like the
yes,
different ones are different? Right, okay.
yes, yeah. So it's like, and again, some of them are so popular that they actually do have their own rules. But say, I don't know, like the Exorcists. The Exorcists aren't a well-known chapter of Space Marines at all, but like, back in 9th edition, you could play the Exorcists by going, all right, well, I'll go into the rules to make my own chapter, and then I don't know, the Exorcists, I guess, I'd fight in this particular way, and you can make an army that represented that. Now you can't. So it's like that. That for me is just a huge blow, and it's just all very simplified. And I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. So I've kind of fallen out of
Well, you know what? I really
Warhammer.
like it because it's given me approximately 6 minutes to eat half a pizza, and
Nice.
that's all I care about.
However, all is not lost. I won't stop going to tournaments. However, I'm going to be playing the Horus Heresy, which is it's just Warhammer 40,000 set 10,000 years before. So yeah, Warhammer
Okay.
30,000. Yeah.
Well, but you're not like going there to try and win or anything like that. You're not trying to be like rank 1 Warhammer player in the world and
no,
earn money
I
from
never
competitions.
have. But the thing is, I go to have fun.
Yeah.
But like, I have not had fun playing a single game of 10th edition yet. I've had about 5 or 6 games of it, and it's just not been fun.
And you really got to have fun playing that game because it goes on for a while, doesn't it?
Yeah, it goes on for a while. But like, I've had one game of Horus Heresy so far where I had my shit literally forced deep inside of my asshole. I lost that badly, and I loved it. It was great. So,
Well,
I
you do
still-
like
I
stuff
could
being
still-
rammed inside your asshole. I know that. for
I
sure.
do.
If you had a Twitter, I'd suggest you tweet that.
Well,
Just-
I do.
just throw it
I
out
like things up my ass. I do. I do.
there. Or you could do like a Wizard of Oz style song about it. I love things shoved up in my ass. I do. No?
Yeah.
We can write a musical. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
I've not realised the plate I've been eating this pizza off has been constantly pressing my space bar for this entire time, and now I've got like loads of spaces all over my screen.
Great.
It's fine. Well, is that it then? Is that all you've been up to? You mentioned something about Kick. Is it anything interesting enough for podcast or?
No, I was just bringing up the chat on Kick.
Oh, you meant? Oh, you said,
Yeah.
oh, I need to bring up Kick. And and I thought you meant the platform. I thought you'd heard of something, but no, you just meant you need to bring up chat. Did you bring up the restream chat? Because remember, Judd, we stream to both YouTube and Kick at the same time.
Oh no!
So
I only brought up the Kick stream chat.
Well, I've sent it to you again. So if you want to follow us and subscribe on Kick and YouTube, that's where you can get all the live content, including the live recordings of this podcast. But if you're too busy, we understand. The videos, the VODs of the recordings are still there on YouTube and Kick, as well as the audio version and the video version on Spotify. There's a bunch of other cool videos on the YouTube channel as well. Tweet at Tweets Badly for news. Clips channel on TikTok and YouTube as well. Clips Badly. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Do it, you fat bitch.
I sure am one of those. Anyway, I had to drive a car.
Oh, god damn it.
Has our father told you about this?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Okay.
So
yeah,
your sister will have been in the same. I was going to say boat, but probably a car. Although it did rain, so it could have been a boat. Prom. Our
Yes,
sisters
prom.
are like within 2 weeks of the same age, aren't they?
Yeah.
What's your experience been like with your younger sister's prom? They're both 16 now, right?
Yeah, so I didn't really have a lot of sort of experience or any contact with it. I
Did you go
saw
to
her in
prom?
a
High school prom?
no. I saw her in her dress when I was over one time, but I didn't go through to her prom as she was going in. I was playing Warhammer at the time.
What a supportive brother.
Yeah. I did. My thing was, I asked this. I said to her, look, do you not want like people actually showing up? Because everybody was saying to her, oh yeah, we're gonna show up to your thing and support you. And I made sure I was like, is that actually what you want? Because I would have been quite embarrassed if like everybody showed up
Yeah,
to my prom.
my thoughts were similar.
So
I was thinking, like, I didn't think it was worth me mentioning it at all. I didn't think it were anything to do
yeah,
with me. I didn't think that she'd want me even
yeah.
involved.
No, I know. That's what I was thinking. But she said she wanted people there. So Nana and Grandad went through. I think my mum went through. Yeah, I was not there. I was not there. I said,
Wait,
let
wait.
that. I said,
So she did
I
want
said,
people there,
yeah, she did. She did want people there, but she was
but
like,
not you.
she was like, yeah. She said, I don't want you there.
Oh God. Well, my sister, probably. I don't know how much of a fan your sister is of attention, actually, but mine is not really interested in much attention. But weirdly, because her dad is like, well, how would you describe my sister's dad? Because me and Judd have the same dad, but me and my sister don't have the same dad.
I'd say he's so down to earth. He's like breached into the earth's crust, and he's like plowing his way through the sort of like magma of the earth.
That sounds like he's a mole man.
He might be a mole man. I know
Maybe.
so little about. I know so little about him. He might be a mole person.
And what Judd means to say is there is so little about him. Like, there's just this is the thing. He has to describe him. It's like,
Yeah.
well, he's there.
Yeah,
he's
he is
still living. You can
He
say
is
that
a
about him.
subterranean mole creature. So
He's just the blandest guy ever, basically.
yeah.
So I think what normally happens is, you get, or at least I don't know if it's same for girls and guys or what, but I only know it from my sister's perspective. So the girls get dropped off at prom, usually by their dad, but in like a nice car. They'll get like a fancy car, they'll hire one or they'll borrow one or something. But because my sister's dad is like boring as fuck, she wanted me to drive, and like I had to wear like a shirt and tie and things like that. So yeah, so our dad has got a really fancy car. Like he's got a Porsche Taycan, if you know your cars. And one of the things I like to do when I'm really bored is I like to pretend I've got as much money as possible, and I'll look at what house would I buy and what cars would I buy and stuff like that. And his car's so nice that it's probably that. I would probably out of all the cars in the world, money no object, it'd still probably be that, because it's not like a supercar to the extent that like it's just like rah, it's not like crazy like that. It's as fast as possible while still being really nice and comfortable.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's great. So my sister wanted me to ask him if I could borrow his car for the day to drive her to prom. What do you think his reaction to that was, Judd?
I really don't know, because like part of me is thinking like, would he have been like, sort of big-headed that, is like, oh, she wants to use my car, or would he have been like, there's no fucking way that you're getting in my car? So it's either of them or both of those.
How about the third option of,
oh, go on.
Well, he's such a pussy anyway, he's not exactly going to drive fast anywhere.
Oh, right, okay.
The kind of response really was, I probably would just about let you myself, but I can't. Like it's to the point where the car's so fancy they won't insure me on it. I'm not middle aged enough yet.
Okay.
So it just like
middle-aged.
wasn't even possible. Like
so that's a shame.
But instead, there was some kind of like organization stuff, but back and forth. But I had to borrow his partner's car, which is a convertible Mercedes. So
yeah,
what ended up happening was Natalie, his girlfriend, drove his car to something she had to do. I drove her car to this prom stuff, but our dad had some clients he needed to go see. So my dad drove my car to see the clients. And because I didn't expect this, because you know what our dad's like, he just kind of like dropped it on me that he would be driving it. He didn't ask. Yeah. He just said, so I'm going to drive your car. But the thing is, at that point, because I was borrowing like a fancier car, I had to be like, okay. You know, I couldn't be like, I'm not sure if I want to do that. I just had to be like, okay, this is fine.
Yeah.
So, but if I'm being fully honest, as much as I was driving a much more expensive car and things like that, and I really didn't want to crash it, I was more scared of our dad driving my car, which it's not like, it's definitely not fancy, but it's not like a shitbox. It's a 2020 Ford Fiesta, so it's like not very old. So yeah, it was fine. It was all fine. Basically, I dropped her off and everything, and that all worked out. But the one thing didn't go fine. There was only one thing that didn't go fine. My mum was rushing me to get into the car because it was like spitting and stuff like that, and she were getting rained on or whatever, and she were in a nice dress. And so she were rushing me to get into the car. So I hopped into the car, and I sat right on my glasses.
Oh no! Which ones?
What do you mean, which ones? The ones I see with?
Like your glasses. I thought you like saying like your fancy sunglasses. Oh,
no,
not good.
No, I was sat right on my prescription glasses. As I was about to drive this like expensive car, that's basically one of the only environments I need glasses for. So that wasn't great. My sister was wearing her glasses, and luckily we have a similar prescription, so I just wore hers when I was driving her. But
okay. And then did she drive your car?
No. And then afterwards, I like... They weren't even fixable, because as soon as I sat on them, we had to set off, and I tried bending one of the arms back into place, at least enough. Like, that's what I was trying to do. And it just immediately snapped. So one of the arms came right off. I managed, eventually, to bend the other arm into position.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, I've been going to the Apex Legends Global Series LAN. And basically, it's like, you know what a stadium's like. You're far away from what's happening. So I need my fucking glasses. Like, I need them for I never need my glasses more than like a scenario like this. It's literally a full fucking weekend that I need my glasses. Normally, I can, if I'm not driving anywhere, I can go days and days without wearing my glasses, because I only need it for driving and like if I'm watching a movie or a concert or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was so frustrating. This entire event, I had to watch with my glasses like completely wonky, but like being held on with one arm. Like they must have looked stupid as fuck. But were you
holding them like you know they'd hold monocles like when they're at the theater?
I had to do that when I was standing up for people to walk past the seat. So yeah, that's my glasses. It was fine though. I didn't have to hold them most of the time. So yeah, that was dropping off at prom. It's given me a little bit of a fever for a nicer car though. I would like a nicer car. And I don't know what you've got there, Judd, but I just got news of a pay rise today. It's kind of like I got a promotion, but not really. So I am basically going to be earning another £2,000, which is pretty great. Oh, and also a bonus. I'm getting a bonus too of about £300. So hey, hence I've got some beers. I don't know if you've got any beers, Judd.
I can get beers. I can go get
go
one.
On then.
All right.
Hurry up.
I'm going. All right.
He's still going. There he goes. Okay, he's going to get some beers. Now we can talk in secret and tell gossip about him. No, I'm just joking. It'll not be long. So, yeah, that's the next thing that I want to get into. Apex Legends Global Series Split 2 Playoffs LAN event has finished. It happened just recently. If you're not into video games, this sounds like it's going to be a really boring thing. I promise you, it won't be. There's all sorts of shit that kicked off that's interesting. So
there isn't. He's lying.
What beer have you got, Judd?
It's been lying for the past 200 episodes. I've got Foster's.
Rats! I thought if Judd's got beers, it'll probably be Foster's, and then we'll be matching. But I want Corona, so I got Corona anyway. So. Let's do it. Let's do a cheers. Cheers! Yay!
Cheers.
Chink your camera.
Yay.
Chink your camera.
Whoa!
You have to chink. What?
What? My camera?
Chink it like the ding.
Oh my god! You're gonna get a steep platform.
No,
you can't
ding
keep saying that.
That's like what it's called when you chink your glasses.
What?
Ding them.
Stop! You're gonna get glitched off.
Cheers me and your camera for fuck's sake! I'm gonna.
Okay.
Cheers! Fucking hell. That small gap in audio there wasn't us drinking a beer. Your internet was going out. Never mind. Anyway.
Well, you better go catch it. That doesn't work.
Shut the fuck up. Yes, LAN. It was in London, Judd. It was in London.
Hell, my name's Billy Butcher. Whoa.
I went there. Sure did. Yeah. I had to go on the train. It's not that difficult, but I had to get up at like 10 to 5 in the morning. Which isn't great because at these events, spoilers, copious amounts of drinking till early hours of the morning happens. So
nice.
I was almost gonna have to be up for like 24 hours because of how early I'd had to get there. There was people coming from like multiple places in Europe that had not had to get up that early to get there. It's honestly, it's nuts. And there's a guy from Germany who's part of the group of fans that I go with, and he was telling me how his flight was €20.
What the fuck?
And he said it is a really shitty flight. Like, it's very uncomfortable and it's not nice at all. But €20? That's nuts. Yeah. That's crazy. My train was 80. I mean, that's 40 each way, but like, that's double, you know?
Yeah, that's insane.
He said it cost him more. He flew into Heathrow. It cost him more money on the bus from Heathrow to Stratford, from one bit of London to the other, than it did to fly from fucking Dusseldorf to Heathrow. It's like, what the fuck? So, yeah, I managed to sleep all right for a little bit, maybe half an hour on the train. I don't like sleeping on trains. It freaks me out a bit. I'm a bit better at sleeping on planes, but I don't trust people who are on trains.
Yeah.
Because they can just get off at the next stop. It's not like on a plane you're trapped with them, so if they do anything...
You can't get off at the next stop on a plane.
No. So you know exactly where they're going to end up. Where on a train they could get off or whatever, and so I don't know, but there was no other option. I had to have some sleep. So what I did was I went to the event first because of kind of where my team had placed, and I went and sat with the fans, some of them that I saw from last year, and we watched the games and everything, and my team came dead last, and I'm going to keep brushing over that. And we've since learnt, because while talking to the players and kind of what's come out afterwards, that there's quite a bit of reason for that, I think. And basically they've got another player out of 3 now. One of their players has left, and they've swapped him. It's not been it's not necessarily like drama, really. It's just that it makes sense why it wasn't working so much with what was happening.
Were they a groomer? Have they led because of grooming allegations? That's usually like what they do these days.
It is possible. One of the other team members.
I can't believe I fucking called that.
One of the other team members on the team was 17 when they joined the team. So,
all right.
But no, that 100% no. Okay. That's not what's happened. I'm certain of that. So yeah, anyway, that was a bit sad afterwards. Then obviously we all went to the pub because of course, drown our sorrows. And walk into the pub. I've seen them in Sheffield before, but not in this much force. Furries, Judd. Big group of furries. Like a furry meet. There was a lot of them. There was a good gaggle? 25 of them. They were all sat. It was not, I mean, we live in the north of England, which is much colder than the south. And by like 5 degrees or so Celsius, not a stupid Fahrenheit one. And so it was kind of warm down there. I wore shorts the entire time, like to the early hours of the morning, and a breathable sports t-shirt as well and everything. But
you didn't wear your fursuit.
But no, there was no chance I would have been able to fucking wear a fursuit. It was have I knocked this microphone or some shit? Do I sound fine?
Yeah, you sound alright.
What about... Wait, let me do something. What about now? Do I sound any different?
I don't think so.
Okay. What about now? Do I sound any different? No, that's fine. I just walked past them, but I just thought, I'm in the South now. It's kind of like someone from the South of America would go to, like, LA or New York or something and go, oh... I'm near the coast now. That was reinforced on a different day. I'm kind of jumping about a bit here. When it was the finals, and we were all trying to sit together as a group of fans again, but it was a bit harder because it was a lot more full on the last day. A guy who I'm pretty sure unironically was dressed in a maid outfit. He did sit with a couple friends, but none of them seemed to, like, laugh about it, you know?
Yeah, it was just there, innit? Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
So...
Yeah, I gotta file that one under cringe, buddy. I gotta file that one to the C for cringe.
Yeah. He might have been doing it as a joke, but they didn't, like, laugh much if he was doing it as a joke, which still made it cringe. But speaking of cringe, by the way, there's a lot more crazy stuff that happens later. Just stick with us. Speaking of cringe, most of the time we were watching this, right? It goes across 4 days, right?
Yeah.
Other than the final, which was a bit quicker, every day was 13 hours of Apex Legends. Which, if you're really into it, sweet, but even I was getting a bit fatigued by the end of it. I only did 2 days, by the way. I did the back 2 days. I couldn't afford 4 days in London, fucking hell. All the other days, the first 3, there wasn't that many people in attendance. It was only like the really die-hard fans. So the insight that they had was at least okay. It might not have been amazing, but it was all right. But the last day on the finals, there were these guys sat behind me. And I know I sound like a snob of the game by saying this, but they knew fucking nothing. They knew. I was like, why have you come to watch this? Like, what are you doing here? There was like someone had used their ultimate ability in the game, and they go, "What the hell's that?" And it's an ability. It's a thing you can do in the game. Like, what are you talking about? It just, I don't know, that kind of annoyed me a bit. But do you know what it is? I think it's they were from London. They were obviously from London. They were from the south. I swear to God, it's a trait of people who are fucking from London. They annoy me. They had the fucking Cockney accent. Oh, what the fuck is that? You know, they were like, oh, I don't know what the fuck is. Oh my God, what's that one there? Oh, shut the fuck up. But the problem is, in one sentence, they're saying something which even they know obviously shows they know fuck all about what's going on. And in the next breath, they're like, oh, they're not a very fucking good team member. Oh, they're not in a good spot, them ones. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what's happening. Just sit back, realise you don't know what's going on, and ask questions about stuff you don't know about. If they were only asking their friend about, oh, what's that's happening? Oh, just are they in a good position? Are they a good team or anything like that? Then that would be fine. I wouldn't mind that. I'd maybe find it mildly annoying, but I wouldn't mind that. As in, my cousin came with me last time and did that, but never was like, oh, they're not in a good spot or anything like that. And to be honest, even if he would have done that, he might have known a bit of what he was saying. So he's actually shot at someone in his video game before. There's this child behind me. He probably spends half his time licking fucking uranium rocks with how much his brain's deteriorated. That pissed me off a bit more than it should have, actually. He just came to watch the show. I don't know. Oh,
It's
dear.
like, it's just funny that you've got this sort of like, you sound like an art snob, but like it's Apex fucking Legends. It's like, this character is Gibraltar. How do you not know? Do you know? Oh, yeah. Oh, I bet you don't even know the spread ratio of a Mozambique, you fucking fool, you pleb.
How many pellets does a Mozambique fire, Judd?
I don't know. I'm not.
But the fucking guy behind me would have gone, oh, it's like fucking 4, innit? It's 4. You know it's not! Shut up! I hate it. It's a big pet peeve of mine when someone says something as if it's true, when in reality, they never fucking knew what they were talking about. Not even a moment. Because whenever I do something like that, whenever I'm talking about something that I'm pretty sure it's true, but I don't really know, I will say that. I'll say, I'm pretty sure it's this.
Yeah.
You know? I'll never say, oh, it's that. Because you don't know. So it's like for example, like when my train was leaving, I'm pretty sure from my memory it was 3:46 p.m. But that guy would be like, oh, it was 3:46 p.m., mate. No, you don't know. You don't remember. Anyway, I'm moving on. So that was kind of it for the competition itself. I guess I'll just touch on like who did well or anything. The winners were a team called Dark Zero. They're one of only 2 teams ever to win one of these events, which made it, I guess, a little bit disappointing. It's a slightly boring winner, if anything. But I can slightly hear myself in your microphone, Judd. But the team who came second was TSM, who you might have heard of before. They're the other team who has won. So it was like first and second were the only 2 teams that's actually ever won this shit. So it was like, eh. So I don't know. It wasn't that bad though. It's still quite thrilling to watch. Afterwards, we liked the team that I follow. Well, you more like follow players in esports rather than anything. So the player I follow, his fans have already gained a reputation for being the rowdiest bunch at these events, which I really like. I like that we've got that reputation. We're not particularly liked massively by other fans, not like massively disliked. Like they don't. It's like fairly neutral, but they just know us as like passionate and loud. Which is pretty cool, because we all go to the pub afterwards and get fucking trashed. So we went to the pub on the Saturday, and like I mentioned, there's a German lad there, and he likes to have a drink, and he drinks.
Does he like
probably
to get
more
real rowdy?
Yeah,
that was German.
Well done. He likes to drink probably more than anyone else there. There is another British guy who's he's from Manchester actually, so he's also from the north, which makes sense.
And how does he talk?
Pretty much just like we do, because he's from the north. But I get sometimes he likes to drink quite a bit, I think. But because I know this German guy likes to drink quite a bit, and I know I can drink a lot more than anyone I've ever met, put it that way. I challenged him to a drinking competition, and he, being German, felt the need to defend his honor. In fact, he like, you know what Germans are like? He took it as a really serious challenge. And I was just casually like thinking, let's like do rounds. So I'll buy us a round of drinks, you buy us a round of drinks, and we'll be drinking the same thing, and we'll see who has to quit first, basically. But he was like fucking trying to defend his honor, and everyone else, they were like, "Oh, this is interesting. Someone's challenged a German to a drinking competition." Dude got smoked. He got fucking smoked, brother.
Nice.
And it's weird because the player that I follow, he comes out with us because like most of the other players have got like a weird ego and they all just hang out together in the hotel.
Yeah.
But he's not massively he's not particularly liked by a lot of other pros actually, which is probably a factor. But he also much prefers to hang out with a lot of people that he knows likes him. Because why the fuck wouldn't you? Like, it makes way more sense. So he comes out with us, and it's funny now because we've gotten back from the event, and we were all saying hi in his chat and things like that. So I said, "Oh, hi, welcome back." And he said, well, he actually cut off halfway through his sentence. He went, "Jake!" He's from Slovenia, so he sounds Russian.
Yeah.
"You are beer!" Oh, and then he got distracted by something, and I just put in chat, "Yes, I am beer." That's the reputation I like. It was funny because he was saying goodbye to everyone individually before he left. And rather than see everyone else is like, "Oh, nice to see you," and everything like that. "Oh, I'm really glad to see you again." He said, "Bye. I don't know how the fuck you drink so much beer." He looked mildly scared. He's like, and everyone else is in a circle at this point, and they were all listening to the goodbyes and things like that, and they were all like, yeah, actually, this is actually weird. And they were all, by the end of it, more impressed with how many beers I could drink than his Apex skills, I think, by the end of that. So I'm pretty proud of that one. We did have a round 2 the next night where this lad had kind of prepared a bit more. No, not a chance. Didn't stand a chance. In fact, I had to walk him to his bus to make sure he got on it okay. So, yeah. You know what? GG's, go next. That's all I got to say.
We beat him at World Wars. We beat him at drinking competitions. It's just happens.
It seems like we're just better in every way, guys. What can I say?
Yeah.
God. I did end up talking to him, and he did tell me that his great granddad or great great granddad was a Nazi. So.
Oh well, they would be though, wouldn't they? That's
it's because he was forced into it. He was telling me there's clear, basically, I don't know if it was documentation, but clear evidence that he was forced into it for sure.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, I was like, "Listen, dude, you're not a Nazi, so don't worry about it."
Yeah. Have I ever told you that I had an uncle that was part of the Hitler Youth?
No.
I've never told you that. I don't know. So I don't think he'd be a blood relative. I think he married in. But he'll probably be a distant sort of uncle or something. But we had. I think it's on my nan's side or something, her sister or something. Married a Polish guy, and he'd fled Poland as a child when the Nazis had occupied Poland, and he'd been inducted into the Hitler Youth. So he was part of it, but obviously didn't want to.
Whenever anyone says occupied, all I can think of is someone being in a toilet stall going occupied.
That's what it was. Adolf was in Paris and he was going occupied.
Is that your Hitler impression?
Yeah. Yeah, so he fled. He fled Poland with his brother, and
fled badly.
So fled badly.
I do like that one. Well, this lad were telling me that in Germany now they all get a big education on this is something Germany did. We really fucked up. Don't do any of that. Don't do any of that. Hitler very, very bad. And he even went to his birthplace and stuff. And he was telling me how Hitler's birthplace has been turned into a police station because they had too much trouble with neo-Nazis going there to celebrate on his birthday. So it's police there to make him fuck off. So yeah, he's a good guy. I shout out to Kenobi
he is a good guy,
chat.
that Hitler.
No, fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars. That's the German guy. No, his name's Kenobi in Matafe's chat. So yeah, that was fun. That was interesting. What kind of fueled the round 1 ending so early for this lad was that this random Australian dude just showed up at the first bar we were at.
And how did this guy sound?
Oh, crikey, I'm an Australian man.
Did he go? Hello, it's not. Did he go? Hello, it's my name, Pim from Smiling Friends. Is that what he did?
Is Pim Australian? Yeah, it's a weak
it's Australian. Yeah.
No, he had a strong Australian accent. Do as a strong Australian accent, Judd.
He's like, my name's Max Mofo. I like to open Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I got it now. On today's expedition, we've gone to the cow. I don't know. That's just the Cockney accent again. I can't fucking do it anyway. It turns out he did watch the same guy we watched, but he just never chats. So like all of it, he could have been fucking lying for all I know, because I've never seen him in chat. Yeah, but he turned up. And this guy, he must have been so rich, or he was so much of an alcoholic that he spent his entire bank account that day. Because it's London, right?
Yeah.
It's expensive, and especially for alcohol. Where we are, like, I've just bought 18 bottles of beer for £15, and that's not even a great deal. I could have bought 18 cans of beer, which would have been bigger, for £11, or I might have been able to get, there was one for £9 on offer, I think. So that's in a shop, but in if I wanted to get a pint of beer at like the pub just down the road, that would probably be maybe like £3.60. Would you say, for like a normal pint of lager? Yeah. It was regularly £6.80 or something for the same lager in London. Yeah, it is. And shots were even crazier. Like, shots are crazy in bars actually here. But anyway, he kept buying beers for himself. And for a few other people. He bought the most expensive shot of whiskey in the bar we were at for one of the people in our troupe. And there was about 20 of us wandering around. And he must have bought at least 50 shots of Black Sambuca.
What the fuck?
At least across the one night he was with us. Thinking about it, because there was 20 of us, I think he did a good 3 or 4 rounds of this. So... yeah. He probably topped 60. He probably did bought more than 60 shots of Black Sambuca for everyone. But he got wind that me and this guy were having a drinking competition. So whenever he bought a drink, he'd also buy us an extra drink. And whenever he bought a round of shots, he bought each of us 2. So just because he didn't give a fuck. He didn't care. He was just like... He was smiling, he was having fun, he was encouraging everyone to drink way too much, and because he was so outgoing, no one felt like they could say no to him. He was being nice about it, like, it weren't like being mean or like particularly peer pressure. It just convinced them. So we just got him all nice and drunk with a really friendly Australian guy. What I've found that's weird about London, or it probably changes a lot depending on the area you go. Have you been to much of London?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Cool, good talk. Where you been?
No, I've been to London. I've been like in the middle of London, like central London. I've been on like the sort of outskirts when I went to Legoland.
Totally sounds like you've got no clue and you're just making it up. I've been like to the left bit,
I've been in
and
the middle,
the right bit, and
I got like exciting one day, and I went to like the top left-hand bit one time. No, I have, because my uncle lives in London. So I went down a lot to see him as a kid, and So no, I've been around London a lot.
Like, eating and drinking in London?
I suppose I had, but I wouldn't have really like paid much attention to it because I will have been like younger.
Right. Okay. So not like nights out then. You've never been on a night out in London, right? Okay.
No.
Because what I've noticed is everything shuts way earlier than I thought it would. I figured, the big city, everything will be open 24 hours. Don't need to worry about it. It's not fucking true at all. They all want to... Like, McDonald's was shut before 8. McDonald's! And given it was in a shopping centre, to be fair...
They're only through the 5th fight of the night at 8 o'clock round our ends.
Yeah, exactly. But even if I'm thinking Meadowhall, which is the closest shopping centre to where we live, that's open while, like, 11. at least.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been that late, or maybe even past that. But like, it's open while then. Like, for sure, I'm certain of it. And it's not quiet either by that point. So I don't know why the fuck they were shut. It's so weird. But I had managed to find a random burger truck that was open at like 8:30 when I wanted to eat my tea.
Yeah.
Because I was preparing for the drinking competition, you see. I needed to get a burger in me. So that was weird. But it was the same with pubs. On a Saturday, I can't actually remember on a Saturday. It might have been midnight. But I know that on the Sunday, for certain, they were trying to shut before 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Which, it's like, it's not like, that we do have pubs near us that shut at that sort of time on a Sunday, but there will be like pubs, like rural pubs. Like, any pub, I'm slightly rural, I guess, but any pub near me will probably be open past then on a Sunday. They'll probably be open while like 1 a.m. And like bars and stuff, or pubs that are kind of closer to bars, they will be open even on a Sunday 2-3 a.m.
Yeah.
Does that seem about right to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. This was more of like a bar type pub. And they were ushering us out the door at 11, like, leave, go. So the only thing that was open anywhere near us at that time was the casino, because that was open like all night, baby.
Yeah.
So we're all dressed in like shorts and like, to them it will have looked like fake sports jerseys because it's for an esports team, and like just like trainers, and like 20 of us rock up to a casino. And it's not a casino like where it's like slots or anything like that. It's quite a fancy place. It's all roulette tables and blackjack, and all the people are wearing suits and things like that serve you and things like that. So one night at the casino, for some reason they wouldn't let in this girl who was from Ireland because her ID had expired. They'd let her in the day before, had they? Actually, I don't know if she came the day before. But her ID had expired or whatever. So I had to. They needed. I think this was a trick. They needed someone who was from the UK to sign up to be a member of the club, so that I could sign her in as a guest.
Right.
What do you think of that?
No, I think they're just fucking weird. I think they just wanted to get somebody to sign up to something.
Yeah,
to be honest,
what I think too. I think they knew, like, I think they were within their rights, I guess, to deny her to come in because her ID was expired, man. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit of a scam for a start, anyway, because like I'm sure they only do that so they can get more money out of you while having to like buy them. Or I suppose, do you get replacement IDs for free? I don't know. Anyway, so I guess they could have not let her in, but she was with a massive group of hers. There was, it was obviously fine. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, she was really small. She was like really small, as in she might be considered. What's the correct term? Like a little person, midget? I don't know, with how small she was.
A very small person.
She was like 4'8", 4'9".
Who should feel ashamed of being that small?
No, not at all. No, I will not have that slander of Shelk. She's a very lovely, albeit small, lady. She's very nice. And her boyfriend, maybe fiance, I'm not sure. Migre is very nice as well. He was a nice chap. He didn't speak much English, but he hugged me nicely for getting his girlfriend into the casino. I had to basically sign my soul away, and everyone was joking like, well, tomorrow you're gonna wake up with no organs then, because I had to do that. That wasn't great.
Turns out they weren't joking.
Yep, I got no organs right now. No, but I guess there's not too much interesting that happened at the casino on the first night. We drunk a lot, and the German lad didn't make it to the casino. That's how like much alcohol we'd managed to go through, and everyone was very impressed by me at this point. And I've got some sneaky tricks, right? I swear to God, I kicked off this culture of everyone drinking like this, by the way, because I've got some sneaky tricks that I use to get the party going. If people might be like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure. I can normally tell, right, when this is going to be good for you. You need to, like, just fucking let loose and have a bit of a wild night out. Remember for your birthday when it was just me, you, and Tom turned up?
Yeah.
You had literally, we literally started that day of you being like, oh, we're not going to stay long, we're so fucking depressed. We stayed out by like 2:30 a.m. We went to the fucking drag bar, you know, we got crazy, dude. It was, and you, I, even if you won't admit it now, which I'm sure you will, you needed that shit, and I'm pretty good at telling that.
I had a good time.
Yeah. That was my drinking my beer noise. So I got these sneaky tricks. One of the tricks I use is I try and get people involved in a game. So it's just like a harmless game. It doesn't seem so bad. And you gotta be small. You gotta have the right amount of people. You gotta, like, in a big group of 20 like that, I can't stand up in front of them all and go, listen up, everyone. I've got a game for us all. No, it's drawing too much attention. People aren't going to respond well. You got to isolate like 4 or so people, including yourself. 4 or 5, maybe, including yourself, right? So,
okay.
What does this sound? What? Do I sound like a cult leader or something?
It sounds like this. The Dennis system from fucking Always Sunny, when it's like first you gotta fucking.
Yeah, because of the implication, of course.
Yeah.
That's not the Dennis system, but it was kind of like that. So, the example I'll use of what happened there was, I bought the guys who I kind of got on with the best. Luckily, were sat with the player that we went to see, and you normally want to get involved the most popular person there. Because if whatever they're doing, people are going to follow more. And obviously, he's going to be the most popular one there because everyone's come to see him play. So I got here. Oh, I involved the drunk Australian as well, because of course. And I got 4 shots. 1 for me, 1 for the drunk Australian, 1 for the player, and 1 for the player's best friend, right? Yeah. And I said, 2 of these shots are nice shots. They're like, they're very low alcohol percent. They're sweet. The other 2 of these shots are whiskey, right?
Okay.
Judd, they were all just whiskey. But it made them all have a round of shots. Yeah. 2 of them were apple whiskey, so they weren't as bad, but they're still fucking whiskey. So, and I pulled the same shit later, but that time it was just all whiskey. But thing is, once you've managed to pull that off a couple times, it snowballs. They all do it for themselves then, and everyone has a good time. And literally, I'm telling you, I'm so good at knowing when this needs to happen. Everyone was saying, like, at least half of the people who went for that weekend said how it was one of the best weekends of their life that they'd had.
Yeah.
So, I know how to have a good time. That's all you need to know. So this escalated to the point where some of the guys who'd come from the US had quite a lot of money, because they managed to be able to do this twice in a year, coming from the US. One of which just kind of I think I might have given him a shot of whiskey, but I was sat next to him and Matafe. I'm going to refer to him as Matafe from now because he was the pro player. Was sat next to him and Matafe, and he kind of just like slapped his arms on his chair and went, "Right, I'm going to go bet $300 on the roulette." So, and we were like, "What?" Because I think we were the only ones who heard him, and he said, "What, are you coming?" And I got up and like, come on, we're going. Saying to Matafe, was like, "Okay," and he was kind of tipsy at this point and like smiling his head off. So we were just stood behind. we were like, me and him were like fucking children. To be fair, we were stood behind this guy trying to withdraw $300 worth of chips in a casino, and me and Matafe is behind there going, "Oh, I can't believe it!" Like. Just like giggling like school children. And so we went to the table and he put $300, the equivalent in pounds, obviously. On red, because our team's colour is red. And he fucking won. He won $300 in one go, and we went crazy. It's ironic because he won more on that one roulette spin than Matafe did in the competition. In fact, Matafe gambled a bit the next day, actually, just in blackjack, and he won $75 £100 profit, so even he won more on gambling than on Apex that day. So that was great. I that was so fucking fun. It felt like I was in a David Dobrik vlog at that point, because we were like, you know, like beer was flying, we were chatting and all sorts, casino was spinning. It was nuts.
The casino was spinning.
Well, it kind of was for some people by the end of the night. Yeah, that was great. The same guy who bet $300 and won, the next night when we went into the casino, they wouldn't let him in.
What?
They were coming up with, like, they were trying to come up with bullshit excuses.
Yeah.
But basically, they just didn't like that he won. Like, there was no way. I just managed to sign my soul away to the devil to get an expired Irish child-looking person in. So that made it sound like she's expired. So I don't know why the fuck they wouldn't let him in. There's only two explanations. They didn't like that he won, and racism.
Oh, jeez.
What the fuck has he done?
Sorry, you just came through my monitor then.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but it was fine. By the time he was trying to rock up, it was late anyway. It was really late. It was like pushing 2 a.m. So yeah, that was the casino. Something else that happened within this casino was arm wrestling. I've arm wrestled before.
You have? It's not gone well.
No. I broke my arm wrestling. And when I saw that some of the team behind me were arm wrestling, I'd not told them. I thought I would have told them this, but I'd not told them. And I said, oh, God, I broke my arm wrestling. And I showed them the scar, and it was like, whoa! Yeah. I always forget. And it's. I feel like it's weird that people don't spot it, because it's massive, but I guess my t-shirt covers it up, like 90% of it. But yeah, oh shit. Dalton in chat asked if we're going to stream the Tyson fight. Well, the Tyson Fury fight with Ngannou? Nah, it's a load of shite. If you're still there, sorry. So yeah, I told all that story, and then I said the only person that I'll arm wrestle was like the smallest girl who was still there. That's the only person I dare arm wrestle. So I actually did end up arm wrestling her, and nice. I won. It was very easy.
You won against a very small girl, did you? Great.
Yeah. While it was happening, I was obviously like holding it there, like kind of pretending a bit like I might let her win. But I thought, well, you know, we're surrounded by like competitive gamers. I think they'd look down on me if anything. And so I just went blam, just like slammed her arm down. Could have broken it for all I know. No. But what was funny after that was because it was like the only place around open, any other like hardcore drinking fans of other teams had to kind of funnel in there. Yeah. And some teams from some fans of Alliance. We are fans of Vexed. They are Alliance, and they'd come in and they'd seen some arm wrestling happen, and this lad came up to one of the guys who just won on it was like friendly arm wrestling. They weren't taking it seriously. And he came up to him and was like, "Oh, I can I arm wrestle you next? I really want to arm wrestle you next. I've not lost all day." Being like, oh shit, you've been like doing this then all day. That's weird. Our guy was like, sure, okay. So they started arm wrestling, and in the middle of them arm wrestling, this lad from the other team was saying like weird shit, like, "Can you feel my strength?" And the thing is like that.
What the fuck?
What? That's so weird. And long story short, our guy won.
Nice.
And they're the best team in Europe, and we've literally just come last in this LAN. So we got like a little victory there. And the chant that we do, we all burst into "feeling vexed," which sounds really cringe now, but at the time it was really cool. I felt so weird because we were in this fancy ass casino acting like fucking football hooligans. Well, what do they expect? We were so loud and rowdy as a bunch of fans that in another streamer's stream, just after the LAN event had happened, someone had typed in their chat saying, I I was staying at a hotel, like, kind of in the area, and all I could hear all night was, feeling vexed from that hotel. Oh, which was pretty fucking funny. I liked that. That was so fun, seeing this, like, kid who was being all cocky. Like, can you feel my strength? Like,
feel my strength? What the fuck? What a weirdo.
It was a 40-year-old man he was arm wrestling with. It's like, what the fuck? Oh, God. It went on late that night, and I was one of the last. I was the last one to leave, and we were dropping this guy off, and it was. To be honest, I didn't want to leave too late. The first night we went out, I saw that it was like almost 2 a.m. and I was like, shit, I'm gonna set off back. So I really didn't want to leave too late because I'm, I guess, a country bumpkin so far as London standards. And so my impression of London is, dangerous at night. Shouldn't be walking around at night on your own, which is true. Like, the area I was staying in wasn't amazing. It was a little bit rough. It's probably about as rough as where I live, actually. My impression was it might have been a bit rougher than where I live, but probably about the same. So, I don't think you should be wandering around that late on your own. But I had no other choice. Like, I didn't have anyone else to walk with.
Yeah.
So I was about to go home on that night, and one of the guys kind of went. I was saying, I'm going to go off now, everyone. And he stood up, like, looking concerned, and, like, grabbed me by the shoulders and went, "Let me get you an Uber, please." And I was like, it's fine. It's fine. You're freaking me out. He was like, "No, I need to get you an Uber." I was like, I'm going to be fine. Trust me. He's like, "No, Jake, listen. You've had quite a bit to drink." And I said to him, "Sonny, with this interaction, I can guarantee you're more drunk than me." And he kind of went, "Fair enough," and let me go. So I was fine on that one. I don't quite remember the walk. I don't remember the walk home, actually. I was that drunk. But I remember getting in to the apartment I was staying at because what the fuck? Why? Why was I staying here? It was so weird. I thought I'd booked a hotel.
Yeah.
Turns out when I went to look at it, it wasn't. It was just a bedroom in this random ass family's apartment.
Right.
It was so weird. I felt so, like, intrusive of their family, just like being there, just like a stranger. I was at the same time I felt guilty for intruding on them, and the other, like, kind of at the same time as that, I was thinking, thank God I'm me, and not like someone like really weird.
Yeah.
So, but they were weird too. The lady, the lady of the family was. Yeah. She forgot who I was twice. Twice.
Right.
She was like, "Oh," and I said, "Oh, I'm staying here." She's like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "What?" She forgot. How do you forget? And the dude, I don't know how this happened. So the bit that I kind of could use was the hallway. That was obviously kind of a shared bit. The kitchen was technically shared. And then the room I was staying in, no one else would go in there. And then the bathroom I was using, no one else would go in there. This was why it surprised me I was staying in an apartment, because I specifically always select private bathroom. I will not share a bathroom with strangers. It might be snobby to some people. I can't. I hate it. This was not that far off that. I won't share
a room with you unless you know which one is Gibraltar and which one Lifeline.
Yeah, which one Line Life is. They're not released that one yet. It's a bit similar to another one, actually. I didn't like this bathroom situation either, because it felt too much like it was someone else's bathroom still. But it was I could deal with it. I don't regret it, because it was definitely the cheapest place I could stay. But the dude, it was just walking around in, like, skimpy ass Y-fronts in the kitchen, in the bit that he told me was shared. Do you know what the audacity was? On the email when I was staying there, was like, "Oh, please take off your shoes." Not fucking all your clothes though. Like, can I write to them saying, "Please don't walk around nearly fucking naked"? Like, what the fuck? And he
He
told
was
me
into you. He likes
he was a
having,
sexy
like,
guy. Actually, it was pretty
young
fucking. He was
sort of
quite
men
well
come
built.
round and yeah.
But it- they must have had at least 2 kids. I know there was a small child, like
Yeah.
3 years old, and then there was an older child. I don't know how old. Like, I could tell they were a child, but it could be anywhere from like 10 to 16 for all the fuck I know. And there might have been another another child. I'm not sure. They were all staying in one room, all of them.
Right.
So
Damn.
I felt like really guilty. I was like, what?
Mhm.
I know I've just given you like £360 or some shit to stay here for 2
Yeah.
nights, but like, fucking hell, you're all gonna sleep in one room. I felt so bad.
360 quid to stay there for 2 nights.
Dude, it's London. It's London.
Yeah, but
That was cheap.
my
That was very cheap
my
for
place
the
were
area.
like
I was in.
60 quid.
You weren't actually in London. Yeah, and you were fucking staying in a fucking crack den. The way you were staying was much worse.
The crack people were outside. They were outside of the place. They had nothing to do with the experience.
Dude, there was no one on crack near the vicinity I was in, put it that way. Well, there might have been. They might have just been in the house. But I didn't feel bad after I saw the room. It was fucking massive. Like, I don't know why it was one room. It was huge. So they definitely had enough space. I didn't feel bad after that. But yeah. So I don't know, man. It was just weird. And like, I was on the way out, and the woman of the house saw me, and she's like, "Oh, are you leaving?" And I said, yeah, if that's okay." She went, "Yes, bye-bye." I'm like, "Okay, bye." And I don't know, it's just a weird like interaction, like leaving. I just left someone's house. It's just so odd. Because it was their house, I left them a card to say like thank you for having me.
Yeah,
that feels normal. I don't know if it was like extra kind, actually, maybe compared to what they're used to getting. People in London kind of rude.
they were probably like, "Why is this fucking freak like left us a letter?"
Well, I was getting in at like 2-3 in the morning each night. So, I don't know. On the way... Oh, shit, I need to send you some things. I hope they send fast enough. On the way back, on one of the nights...
Yeah.
I had to stop in my tracks. And I don't know if this is as weird as I'm making out. I think they've sent to you on Facebook. But I just saw, stood in the middle of the pavement, a fucking fox in London. Just in the middle of London. There's just a fox there. He was just walking around the street.
That's the fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh, that's the one, is it?
Yeah.
Is it me, or is that, like, odd? Like, would that have made you go, what the fuck? There's a fox there.
No, I don't know. I suppose...
The best bit was it sat like it did a sit.
Yeah.
It was really cute. I could tell it was scared of me, though. But I guess most foxes are normally more scared than that, because obviously it was walking around where it knew fucking where people and cars and stuff was.
Yeah.
So I guess this was like a pretty non-scared fox, but it was pretty scared of me because it knew that I'd spied it. And it was walking the way I was walking as well, so I think it thought I was trying to come after it or something. But I don't know, man. Fox in the middle of the street. Who'd have thought it? It was weird. My last name's Fox. Or is it Badley? Am I right?
Yeah.
So I felt like, because I was quite drunk, and this was like 3:30 a.m., I was like, oh, it's a spirit guide. I thought, I'm Fox, you know? But... no, it was just a fucking fox in London. But I would have probably looked it for longer if it weren't the fact that it was 3:30 a.m. So yeah, that was the fox at London. There was one more thing that I saw that was weird, Judd. On the way home, this lady sat across the aisle from me on the train, just whipped out her gross-ass feet and like plonked them right on the train's carpet. I've sent Judd a picture. I'm not gonna show it on the stream. Though,
I don't want to have to see that.
It was just weird. Like, why the fuck would you get your feet out? It was a long train journey. Don't get me wrong, but come on, that's gross. I'd feel bad for my feet as well, personally. Like, train carpet gross as well. But yeah, all in all, it was such a good time. It's such a fun trip. I really love doing it. It's not cheap, but I guess it's not expensive if you compare it to a holiday. And the amount of fun that's kind of packed into that time with those people is as much as a holiday anyway. So yeah, I'm still tired from it, like, because I've had like nearly no sleep and I've been drinking the entire time. But yeah, the shout out to the Vexed fans, because they're pretty cool. Well, actually, factually, they're all fucking losers like me, but that's what makes them cool. Yeah, it's great. It's I love stuff like that. The things that make people happiest in life is stuff like that. Forming strong, good bonds with good people and having good relationships and good times with them. Even if you're an introvert. You don't want to do it as much, but even as an introvert, those will still be the best times of your life. So, there you have it. That is a podcast. That was my experience at the ALGS Split 2 playoffs. We don't know if... There might be another one this year. Yeah. If there is, obviously, I'll be out in the field doing a report. There might be another one, but it depends on if my team qualifies for it, because currently they're not qualified. One of the members has left and has been temporarily, at least, replaced.
And it's a child exploiter, according to Jake.
No. But so we'll see. The other problem with it, it's not in London, because they said all three were going to be in London. It's in Birmingham. Okay.
They lied then, the disgusting, filthy, fat liars.
But Judd, it's in Birmingham.
I know that shit, innit? Birmingham.
Oh.
Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Birmingham,
for God's sake! If you're from Birmingham, tweet at Tweets Badly and let us know what you think about. I can't even say the word.
Don't message. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to have any involvement with the channel if you're from Birmingham.
Some of my favourite YouTubers are from Birmingham. That's really ironic, but Birmingham. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see about that. And that's it. Right. Scraddle.
Good.